Wowee, we're back. Is it hot in here to you? Feels that way to me. Anyway, today is Sunday, February 28th, and it is really nice outside. I hope you've gotten an opportunity to be outside. In fact, I hope that you're listening to us outside. That would make me feel really, really good. Send me an email. Let me know where you're listening from or something on Facebook. The email is AiLi, AiLi, that's for Art is Life Itself. It's AiLi, AiLi, radio, WRBB, long name, but it makes sense. AiLi Radio, AiLi Radio, WRBB at gmail.com. Or go on Facebook and look for AiLi Radio, 2 words, AiLi space radio, and like the page. Tell me where you're listening from. I would really love to know, because our counter here only reflects people who log on to Northeastern's website or the radio station's website, and it's not an accurate count. So let me know. So I'm your host and your producer, and AiLi Radio broadcasts and streams here every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. We bring you information you can use or will make you think. The topics that we stick to are food, art, culture, and spirituality. Our aim is to help you be more discerning, but open to new ideas and people. So this is my shout out to all the new listeners, and I know you're there because you tell me when I bump into you, or you tell me on Facebook or wherever it is, and I'm so happy that you're listening. So please like our page if you're new. That's AiLi Radio. That's Facebook. Share with your friends and family, and we will work very hard not to disappoint. So AiLi Radio is an organic growth from Art is Life Itself. AiLi Live, the short way of saying it. It's a 10-year-old performance series that I started and continue to produce and host at the Haley House Bakery Cafe in the Roxbury neighborhood of Boston. We have a brand new day, same Thursday idea, but the third Thursday of the month instead of every Thursday of the month. I did every Thursday of the month for 10 years, and I think I've paid my dues. So every third Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m., we are no longer every Thursday. We have AiLi Live on the third Thursdays of the month, okay? Now, on those other nights, there's lots of great stuff going on. There's about 7 people producing what I did for 10 years. Can you imagine? I'm glad I'm still alive. So on the first Thursdays of the month, there's the Philani Haynes Jazz Collaborative. On the second Thursdays, Justin Springer brings Lifted. And then, of course, AiLi Live is on the third Thursday. And on the fourth Thursday, the Boston Day and Evening Academy presents Lyricist Lounge featuring their students. And every fifth Thursday, when that happens, Stories Celebrating Life with musicians, storytellers, husband and wife team Sumner and Linda McLean. They are really, really powerful. So all of that means more live programming for you at the Haley House Bakery Cafe, more great stuff happening in Dudley Square. Isn't this great? Well, if that's too confusing, too much information, just like the AiLi Radio page and like the Art is Life Itself page. Got 2 pages going on here on Facebook. Now, today's guests are an organization. I don't know how they bill themselves. Are they a corporation? Are they a bunch of friends who just decided to get it together? But they all went to school together. That's the thing they have in common. They all went to school together, and they went to school together here in Roxbury at Roxbury Community College. And it is wonderful for me to meet vibrant young people, and they are working in the arts, and they are being very social. And I'm so happy to have H.O.P.E. Inc., Hop on Proper Education, which started in 2006 at RCC as a group of students who were trying to access their student activity fees so that they could have parties, go on field trips. You know, the things they're paying for, they were trying to get it because it wasn't happening. So it took the initiative of these young people to make something happen. So they had an open mic then that started happening there at RCC, and it was called Club H.O.P.E. And now their organization, I assume they've all graduated, now their organization is H.O.P.E. Inc. So with me today, I have Tim Ellis, and he is involved with the open mic that they run on a monthly basis or bi-monthly basis, monthly basis at the Dudley Cafe, another fabulous eating establishment, social establishment in Dudley Square in Roxbury. What's happening? We got all kinds of good stuff happening in Roxbury. We've always had good stuff happening in Roxbury, but now we have these venues where not only can you eat something that's not made from grease, but you can actually eat healthy food, and you can have social activity and engagement and art and culture. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. So I have Tim Ellis here, and he's responsible for the open mic and the pop-up kitchen with Quasi Qua, who's not with us today, but Quasi is one of the co-founders, and Tim and Quasi are both chefs. I also have Amanda Ellis. There's a similarity there. They both have that name, Tim and Amanda. I'm outing them. They're married. Amanda has many, many roles, but she really is the networking organizer of the group. We also have Desiree Rivera Deco. She is a co-founder, and she hosts their evening there at the Dudley Cafe. And I have Curtis Evans, another co-founder, a poet, and a writer. Welcome, everybody, to Art is Life Itself Radio.
Thank you for having us, Nina.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's an honor, definitely.
So please, let's get into the story. You're a bunch of students, a group of students who was it that said, hey, we should be able to have some fun on campus as well as do educational activities? Whose bright idea was that?
Well,
And this is Curtis.
good afternoon, family. Curtis speaking. It was my man Mike's idea. He's no longer with us right now. He was taken from us years back through the violence.
Wow.
You know, something that we're also against, and that's why our color, you know, it's purple. We rock that all the time. That's why I seen your nails. I like your nails right now. She got all purple
thank
nails,
you.
ladies and gentlemen.
They went with a
You
gown
know,
I wore
but,
last week.
we're all about peace, you know. That's just what it is. And but he was a beautiful young black man going to school with us, and he had the idea, and he just I've never followed anybody, but I had no problem following him because everything he said made sense to me, and he just had a view, you know, for Roxbury Community College, for us as students, just for himself as a young man, and just what he wanted to do. And I believed in it. I still believe in it, and everyone here does. We have members all over now, and it all started from what he you know, planted in our minds when we was in study hall one time
In study
Roxbury
hall.
Community College.
Wow,
Yeah.
study hall. Wait. Tell me, what's Mike's last name?
Michael Wiggins.
Michael Wiggins.
Yes.
And if you don't mind, share a little bit about the detail of what happened to him.
Just a real smooth guy, just always stood up. He never sat down. He never laid down. And he loved his friends and his family. If anything was, if y'all were happy, he was happy. If y'all was sad, he was sad. And that's just how it was. He shared, you know, his everything with anyone and everyone that he met.
And you said even with all of that, he had a violent end?
Yeah, he was at a family cookout, and there was a dispute, and he stuck up for his family members. One of the things that he always does, he just did what he always did, and it just ended.
It escalated.
Tragic, you know.
Wow, that's really sad. And how old was he?
He was 22 years old.
22. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
We were all around the same age.
Well, that is really disheartening, and it is exactly the work that you're doing right now that I think is the antidote to that.
Right.
It's the antidote. And you wanted to say something, Desiree?
No, I just wanted to touch on the fact that it originally started with 4 motivated black men, and they were Quasi Qua, Curtis Evans, the late Michael Wiggins, and Ulrich Jermaine, who's also not with us today. He's alive,
Oh,
but
good.
he's not
Good.
present
Good.
today.
Good.
I apologize. He was unable to be here, but their vision motivated us, and they got us all together, and we started H.O.P.E Inc. In 2008, but we started as Club H.O.P.E, and that's where we became a family.
That's beautiful. And Amanda, let's get your voice on the mic after I outed you just right there, that one.
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Amanda. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me, Nina.
I'm glad
Or
that you're
having
here.
us, I should say.
I'm glad that you're here.
I'm just all about the vision. H.O.P.E Inc. is more than just an organization. It's a family. Doing it at Dudley Cafe has been a blessing. I want to shout out Bipla, who is the owner of Dudley Cafe, who's not only allowing us to have opportunities, but other people as well around Boston to perform open mics and have movie nights and things of that nature. So it's very community based, and I'm just happy and blessed that we're getting as much support as we are. The momentum is growing drastically. And we're just pleased to be here, and anybody and everybody that's listening, please come out and definitely hear what we have to say. It's definitely a feeling. I can't describe it any other way. It's just love.
When does H.O.P.E Inc. happen?
H.O.P.E Inc. is every first Wednesday of every month. So our next following open mic night will be March 2nd, which is coming up very, very soon. We just had one February 3rd, which was really special for us because that was Michael Wiggins' birthday, fellow Aquarian.
Yeah.
We're only 3 days apart.
Okay.
So that was a very big tribute night to him, and we had tremendous amount of supporters coming out and celebrating with us for that.
That's wonderful.
And his mother as well was in the building as well.
Isn't that nice?
It was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to get Tim's voice on the mic as well, and I got to figure out a way that we can talk on these mics without moving them. So maybe if you people can move as opposed to the mics, that'll be better for the listeners at home. Tim, I want to get your voice, and you fulfill the role as one of the chefs, and you've got a vision about that.
That's correct, Nina. My name's Tim Ellis, and like Nina said, I'm a chef. And Quasi Qua and I, along with the open mic night, we host a pop-up kitchen called the Chop Bar. And for the first few ones, Quasi thought it a great idea to introduce some West African street food to our guests that
And it
they
was
may
good.
not have
I
been
had
able
some.
to get elsewhere. So we did that for a couple of months, and then we did, like last month, we did jerk beef sliders with some Trinidadian favorites that I have a Trinidadian friend who's also a chef, and he gave me some ideas. So we rolled that out last month. We're really not sure of the menu that's coming up this Wednesday, but we'll work it out.
And I'm sure it'll be good because every time I've had it, it's been excellent. Yes. And so why at a cafe that already serves food were you thinking to have a pop-up kitchen?
Well, the thing is, Bipla and the Dudley Cafe, they have a license to stay open till 10. However, they normally die down around 6 or 7, and they generally close their doors. So Quasi Qua actually made the connection between H.O.P.E Inc. and Bipla, and he discussed us possibly having our open mic night there. And being that Quasi's a chef, I'm a chef. We've been working for other chefs for years and cooking their food. We thought it'd be great if we had an opportunity to put some of our own ideas on a plate.
Absolutely. And first Wednesdays, from what time to what time?
First Wednesday, what time do we start?
From
8:30?
8 to 10 p.m.
8 to 10.
We usually go past 10 p.m. and
Yeah,
it's
we
great.
definitely go past that.
Okay. and who comes to H.O.P.E Inc.? Who comes through the door? Who gets on the mic? What is that like? And maybe you can speak to that, Desiree, because you're the host.
The community comes to the mic.
Curtis is
Any
saying
and
that.
everyone can come to the mic. It's an open mic. You can speak your mind, express your art. and it's free. We don't charge anything, because the reward is within. If we could get somebody to grab a microphone instead of a gun, then we've done our job.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think that you touched on that perfectly. What we're seeing is mostly spoken word artists, community organizers are coming to the open mics. We're welcoming dancers, rap artists, singers. We have a few singers that have come out. Talented individuals that we have made connections with and that have touched us, and hopefully we have touched. And our purpose is definitely to keep it coming, and bring all the love we can to one another, because the community that you feel in the building, like Amanda said, is one that you can't describe, but you leave there feeling a sense of life that you didn't come there with.
Okay. And is it all ages? Is it all genders, all nationalities, all
Yes.
ethnicities?
That's correct.
Yes.
It is all ages, all genders, and nationalities, but we do serve alcohol, so we caution.
Not to minors.
No, not to minors. So that's why we do caution individuals if they're going to bring children. Some of the content can be, explicit, and we want to make sure that you're aware of that.
Okay. So,
Not
but you don't
putting
censor
filters
anybody.
on anybody.
We
Okay.
don't.
Discretion
That's
is
good.
advised.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
All right. And so folks have brought their children, I
Yes,
assume.
they have.
Yes. Okay. And this is very similar to what we do at Art is Life Itself as well. It's always been about, in fact, I started out Art is Life Itself in a bar because I had a partner who picked the location. And I had been in a bar at that point in time, which was about 15 years ago, once in my entire life. And so to be in a bar every week was a bit overwhelming for
Right.
me. I did not want to be there because it had the 21 rule and the focus was alcohol. People want you to drink. And I'm like, that's a bad message. I don't want,
Right.
and I don't mind people having a beer or wine. I mean, I think that's fine, but the idea is not to get drunk. But in a bar, it is. So at the time, we tried the Baritz Lounge, which was a African American owned bar for 50 years. I would describe it as a dive bar. It's no longer in existence. And then we moved up the street to the M&M Jazz Cafe, beautifully renovated space, but that was Murder and Mayhem Capital. That was its nickname in the streets.
Wow.
We were there for 3 months. And then then we went over to the Paradise Lounge on Commonwealth Ave. And again, the focus was the bar, the drink. So I didn't want to be on Commonwealth Ave. Okay, I didn't. I wanted to be in Dudley, in Roxbury. So I heard, somebody told me there is a cafe that's going to open in Dudley that doesn't serve grease. I'm like, what? Really? Where? And I went hunting for this cafe. And it was hard to find because it's set back from the street. There wasn't any big signage at that time. And I finally found it, and it was all locked up. And I pressed my nose up against the glass, and I'm looking at the space. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be perfect. I have a feeling about this, perfect. And sure enough, it took me almost a year to get their attention once they finally did open, because they were running a business. So they were trying to figure out how to do things, how to hire people, how to train people, how to create a menu, how to put the food, really from scratch. And when I finally did get their attention, the configuration for Art is Life Itself was very different from what it is now. But the vibe has always been wonderful. And so I did it every Thursday, and then people started coming, and I got one volunteer, and then I got 2 volunteers, and then they got tired or something else came up, and then I got another, and they left and new people would come. So it's a process, but the idea was to build community,
Absolutely.
to connect people, to have a place in Dudley Square where you could relax,
Have an experience.
where you could have a good experience, and then you could tell your family members about it, and you could tell your friends about it, and then they would come. We've had generations from infants to great grandparents all in the room at the same time. Okay, that is such a good feeling. Where else does this happen? Maybe at church. Everybody doesn't go to church, right? And so maybe at the mosque, everybody doesn't go to the mosque. So where can you find this? In school? No, it doesn't happen in school. So where does this happen? And so I'm very proud of you four and the others who aren't here today that created this vehicle for cultural and artistic expression and embracing food, and you're down with the ethnicity. You're creating food with people of color in mind. You know, not that anybody else can't eat it. Of course they can. Not that anybody else can't enjoy the open mic, but you're coming with this consciousness that is going to reverberate throughout Roxbury, throughout Boston. So my hat is off to you. Now that's my soapbox speech.
Thank you.
We have to say thank you for paving the way.
Oh, well, you know, I had people pave the way for me, so I got to pave the way, and
Thank
you
you.
all have to pave the way for the next generation,
Right.
because that's how it works, right?
And that is the main goal and focus of H.O.P.E Inc.
Okay. So I like that name. The acronym is H.O.P.E Inc., and it stands for Hop on Proper Education. Why that?
That's just what we're all about, you know. All the you don't just have to, you don't only learn from school, you learn from experience, you know. So there's you learn every day. If you don't learn something new every day that you wake up, then you're doing something wrong. If you're not growing, then you're shrinking, and that's just what it is. And that's just what we was just trying to bring awareness to, you know, throughout school, because, you know, we came from a community college, so it's not like, all right, if you didn't get into your university of choice, you still can go there. If you don't have the money to get into whatever college or university you wanted to get into, and you go to a community college, don't think that, you know, you have to shrink your dreams because your school's smaller. You don't have to do that. You can hop on proper education. You can get with us, you know, and you don't have to be. And you can you can be in a gang, because just being in a gang doesn't mean that you have to do violent things. You know, you could be in a gang for something positive. You could be in a gang like we're in, you know, bringing awareness and just letting people know the importance of education and the importance of peace and nonviolence, and letting people know about, you know, the history of Roxbury and the things that went down. I go outside, man, I see a picture of Harriet Tubman on Columbus Avenue. And I just want people to know how beautiful Roxbury is and be proud to be at Roxbury Community College. You don't have to look down and say, oh, I go to Roxbury. Say, I go to Roxbury Community College. And that's
right.
where I'm rocking.
That's
And
right.
that's where I started. And now I'm on top. You know, represent. Don't be scared of nothing. And just do things, you know, in a conscious way.
I'd just like to elaborate on that, especially coming from my experiences with RCC. I'm going to say RCC because Roxbury Community College is very long to say, but we call it
Everybody knows.
RCC.
Yes.
I actually didn't live in Boston. I've been here for about 10 years, but I came from Providence, Rhode Island, and RCC was the school of choice for me. As Curtis said, just to elaborate on that a little bit further, I didn't have the money to go to a university right off the bat, and single mom, you know, what you hear all the time in our community. I was just a single mom. I was trying to work. I was trying to go to school. And RCC, I don't know exactly how to explain how important it is for that school to be up and running still to this day. You know, I didn't know about my African American culture in depth. I grew up on Hyannis, Cape Cod, and then I moved to Providence, and we didn't know anything. We just knew Martin Luther King Jr.,
Right.
We knew Malcolm X, and we knew Rosa Parks. You know, at RCC, I learned about who Medgar Evers was. I knew who Cornel West was, you know, John F. Kennedy and what he did. And I just learned so much about the African American culture there. And, you know, RCC has not only just brought us together, but it's brought me in education, and I believe all of us in education, that we were able to move on and become successful in our lives. As we're doing this, you know, we keep in mind that we also have to balance our personal lives. But because of the connection of RCC and where it was, people say it's a commuter school, but I think of it more as like a second home. When I go there today, I'm still welcomed by Miss Clark and Justin Petty.
Yes.
And, you know,
Hey, Justin, how you doing, man?
Hey,
Shout out
Justin.
for you.
Miss Clark, you know, so many others. Dr. Sully, you know, he was one of my professors there. Eric Ballone, who moved on to Suffolk University. But all those people played such an important role in our education there, and just kept striving and telling us, you know, you keep doing what you're doing. You all are doing the right thing. And it just means so much to be able to be on the radio station right now, to be even talking about the fact that H.O.P.E Inc. is H.O.P.E Inc. and not Club Inc. anymore, and RCC isn't just RCC anymore. It's a second home for us.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
That's
Beautifully
wonderful.
put.
And Tim,
Love you, Miss Clark.
now what's Miss Clark's first name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Clark. Okay, I'm gonna have to look out for her. And Tim, I want to bring you in and talk about the food aspect of this. The idea that food is connected to this culture and art endeavor. Say more in that
I'd
direction.
love to elaborate on the food. Food is my life. Food is, I could talk hours about food. My wife gets tired of it sometimes.
Sure do.
But,
Okay, no fights. Okay.
honestly, aside from, Quasi and I love doing the pop-up, the chop bar at Dudley Cafe, but we have bigger dreams than that, obviously. We want to start our own place one day. And I came to Quasi a few months ago with an idea to start a nonprofit program teaching ex-cons how to cook and giving them a vehicle, giving them a gateway into the restaurant and culinary world if they want. And the reasoning for that is because I come from a similar background. I did 3 years in prison. I just recently, last week, got off of probation from that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I had an opportunity to work in the kitchen in there to earn a little good time, and that's when I fell in love with cooking. And when I came home, I had a vision, I had a goal for what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to become a chef. And door after door after door got slammed in my face because I had a criminal record, and nobody wanted to give me a chance until finally I said, you know what, I'm willing to do anything. I'll start at the bottom. I'll be a dishwasher. And I got a shot, and I worked my way up, and now
That's
today,
a great story.
I've really worked at some of the nicest places in Boston, and I have a pretty good resume right now. And I've come a long way, and we just want to give that opportunity to others that want to change their life for the better and want to cook but can't get a chance. So right now we're looking for a location. Obviously, we need fund. We're looking for funding. We're trying to network with other like-minded individuals that would love to see something like that happen.
That's beautiful. And I just to share with you, Haley House has the Transitional Employment Program, which is for people who are returning from incarceration, and the shortened name is TEP, T-E-P, Transitional Employment. Okay, and so they had this program where people are learning how to bake. Okay, so they're learning the baking skills, and they're also reintroducing people to society and teaching them how to cope with anxiety and stress. And
because it's not easy.
It's not easy for anybody, and it's really not easy for somebody who's been locked away for some period of time, sometimes extended periods of time, and they're totally out of sync.
You have to adjust to being in there. You have to change kind of who you are to survive in there.
Yes.
To then turn around, come home to a world that's different than it was when you went away. People that are different, they look at you different than you were when you went away. Now you have to adjust to that. It's a challenge.
Well, I know when I was on WILD, I used to have quite a few 1090 AM, no longer in existence, the only black radio station in Boston, defunct now. But I remember that I used to get a lot of mail from incarcerated men, and telling me their stories. And I started corresponding with one of them, and he had been put away for murder at the age of 17. Wow. And he was a heroin addict at that time because he had gone through unbelievable trauma in his life, and he turned to heroin because all his supporters, his mother, his favorite sister, they were dead. And so when stress started coming, he didn't know how to make decisions. He was 17, so he started using drugs. And then from that, he did armed robbery, and someone got killed. He didn't kill him, but somebody got killed. So all the people that were involved got locked away, and he was one person who was in jail for decades. But while he was in prison, he educated himself. He was angry for a long time, and then he grew up. And he educated himself. So he got a bachelor's degree. I think he got a master's degree. I think he got 2 bachelor's degrees and a master's degree.
That's impressive.
And guess what? He's out now, and he is a successful photographer.
Wow.
A successful photographer. And I got to have him on this show. He hasn't been on this show. He's been on some other shows. But
all you got to do is have some hope.
There you go. Curtis, I love your voice.
He has the radio voice.
He's got the radio voice, and I think he can sing. That's what I think. I think he can sing. Can you sing, Curtis?
No, I can't sing.
I don't believe it.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe
a little
a little
Barry
bit.
White stuff. I might be able to get. I can't get the Mariah notes. Can't
No,
do
we
that.
don't want the
Don't do it to
Mariah
him,
notes.
Kurt.
We don't want to, but we want to hear the Barry notes. Maybe a little later in the program, you can give us like a note or two.
Hey, maybe anything's possible.
Okay.
Have hope. Have hope.
Don't do it to him. Don't do it to him, Kurt.
But this is very important because in our culture, in our society, we have people who are devalued. You know, we have young people who are thrown away. Who are miseducated. And their crime is they were born black, they were born Latino, they were born Asian. That's their crime. And they were poor. So they don't have the resources. And so to have them suffer those consequences that means there is no hope for the future. Because what do they have? What do they have to look forward to? What are they going to do in life that creates value? You know?
And
So
what are we going to do to help them cope with their unfortunate circumstances?
there you go. And to inform them that life doesn't have to be this way. In spite of all these odds stacked against you, life doesn't have to be this way. It starts here in the mind first, though, and in the heart, what you believe. Because what you believe is what you become.
This is true.
Absolutely.
You know, so what are some of the success stories? You talked about the support that you received. Who has supported you aside from the Dudley Cafe and the people that come out? What are the supports that you've seen and the benefits that you've seen from doing Hope Inc. on a monthly basis at the Dudley Cafe?
I can name one. I won't mention her name or.
We want names.
Listen, we have a tentative project going on right now, so we don't
No,
want
no,
to.
no.
We don't want to do that.
If it's not cooked yet, no.
We're
it's
not.
okay.
It's cooking. We actually had a really big supporter who works for a really big newspaper who came out, and she initially came out to find out what was going on with the H.O.P.E bar and was interested in what this West African street food was. And when she got there, her mind was blown, is what she told me verbatim. Was she was not expecting to walk into the crowd and the type of audience and the type of content that she walked into. And we're working some stuff out with her, so that was a pretty huge deal for us.
Right.
So excellent. So the food attracted some support. That's wonderful. Anything else? Any other stories?
As far as at the Dudley Cafe, I think the networking piece is amazing because a lot of people have been able to support us. We've learned about a lot of things that we could be a part of and support. I think that it also opens some doors for other people who are having events at other locations to then come and learn about how they could have events at Dudley Cafe. We've also done a lot of work with the youth, and that is the purpose of Hope Inc. The open mics was an additive. So we're building connections with some community organizers and youth organizers so that we can be a part of that and start doing summer programs as we've done in the past and maybe incorporate the arts as well. So that's a big thing. Building those networks is number one at this time.
That's excellent. Curtis, have you been having a good time?
And basically what Hope Inc. to me is it's a dream come true. It was my man Mike's dream. He wanted for things like this to happen. He'd be doing backflips if he knew that we would have open mics at Dudley Cafe in the new building, that beautiful building that we're at. That we don't ever have to worry about any fights or any guns. We don't need any security. It's not like that. I went from having just a club that we started at school to now I have a real live family, and it just grows with every open mic that we have. And we have it, like I said, the first Wednesday of every month at the Dudley Cafe. It's right in Dudley. You could get off the 1 bus, the 23, the 15,
That's right.
the 45.
Any old bus.
Every bus goes to Dudley.
Uh-huh.
It's the heart of the city,
All-
and that's right where we are.
all roads
and
lead
my
to
heart
Dudley.
bleeds purple. Hoping.
We also had another supporter that I forgot to mention. We actually had James Mackey come out, and he works with Youth Build, which is very interesting. And it's an awesome organization. If anybody can go check it out, please do. It's basically geared towards youths getting their GED, getting into the construction field, basically just hands-on training for young teenagers and young youths who are coming out of high school to get into something that's more conducive to their future.
Yeah, actually, a friend of mine, well, a sibling of a friend of mine, his name's Kendall. He actually graduated from Youth Building. He's a very successful carpenter now.
Excellent.
And he came from a very troubled upbringing. He grew up on Lenox Street projects. His uncle was shot to death, and that kind of drew him into the streets. And then Youth Build kind of helped pull him out.
See, these are the kind of stories I like. I want to highlight. I want people to have hope. I want them to have examples of people getting inspired and having hope. This is why I take my hat off to you. I'm not wearing my hat right now, but I take my hat off to you.
Thank you.
Because you're doing something creative. You're doing something collaborative. You're doing something in the community. 3 C's: creative, collaborative, in the community.
Yes.
As a collective.
And as a collective.
As a collective, right? And so that is hard. That is very hard to do. And perhaps your experience at RCC is what melded you as a team, to move forward like that. And I say, keep going, keep going, keep going. So every first Wednesday of the month, once a month, you can go to Dudley Cafe from 8 until 10 p.m., sometimes later than 10, and you can have a good time. You can have it
for free.
For free. Free is good.
Free entry.
We
The
can't.
food's not free. The food is not free.
And since we're on this radio station, we can't really talk about money, but free is good. Okay, so save up your dimes, your nickels, your quarters, your pennies, and get some of that food when you go there. But you get to come in for free, feel the vibe, interact with the people, see your friends, make new friends. It's really a very beautiful experience. Very beautiful. And where can people find out more information about Hope Inc.?
I was just about to plug that too.
Well, I'm helping you out.
So you can find Hope Inc. on Facebook. Definitely, it's Hope Inc. H.O.P.E. You can also reach out to me, Amanda Ellis on Facebook. I'm probably one of the quickest people to respond.
Oh, did you get a little badge or something like that?
Oh, yeah, of course. Like I'm just really, really quick. I can't put my phone down. But
Okay.
if you need any information, please go to Facebook and either post something on the page, or you can inbox me. Feel free to do that, or you can also Facebook Desiree as well.
Dede Deco
DEDE.
DECOO dash Rivera RIVERA, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But I think that we all do a really great job at working together.
making jokes
I'm
in
sorry,
here.
my family is crazy. So that's
But you know what?
so that's
your family's
Dede
crazy.
Deco Rivera.
Your family's crazy, and y'all are still getting it done. Because
Yes, we are.
this isn't the only thing you do. Everybody's got lives. Everybody's got jobs.
Right.
Some people have kids, and you're still doing this.
We've known each other for
Trying our
10
best.
years.
Isn't
Yeah.
that beautiful?
10 long
We
years.
don't have many friends
No.
that we've had for more than 10 years. That's why we say we're family.
Okay, that's what it's up. That's beautiful. And any final words, Tim? I see you
Yeah,
looking
also,
eager.
if anyone is is interested or looking to get involved with that culinary reentry program I had mentioned earlier on in the show, you can get in touch with us through Facebook at Hope Inc. on Facebook, or get in touch with me directly at timellis247@gmail.com.
Excellent.
Yes, and I'm Curtis C. Evans on Facebook, and you can also contact me on Instagram at BostonKurt617. I get
Fantastic.
it just like a phone call.
Fantastic. So, I don't know. Do you all have a final thing you want to tell people about what's coming up in March? What they'll encounter?
Sure. Like I said, we're having the next open mic on March 2nd, Dudley Cafe from 8 to 10. We have an amazing feature who is the current president of Club Hope at RCC. His name is Joseph Mosby. But his stage name is Scoot. Amazing man. He's 23 years old. Myself and Quasi actually met him at RCC, and the things that this man is doing on the campus and basically keeping everything running is phenomenal. He is I don't know what else more to say to him. I could brag about him all the time because he's just a young person who has a great intellect, and his messages and his ambition and his poem. You have to come out and hear it.
Absolutely. I can testify to that because I've actually had Scoot featured at Art is Life itself, and
Yeah,
he's a great guy. And,
amazing.
And so is
This
his
is
cousin
last-
Arthur.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Arthur is amazing as
Right.
well. This is his last year as president at Club Hope, and we're hoping he'll be a part of Hope Inc. So, Scoot,
right.
if you hear us, your family already. Sorry.
Whoop, whoop.
We have a lot of good people that are coming out for the open mics. We have a lot of great features, local artists that a lot of people do know and have been following them around. Just to throw out a couple names, we have Matt Gannum coming. We have
Oh, yeah, Matt's great.
Oh, you've heard
Terry,
of
Terry's
We have
coming.
Terry coming.
Terry?
Jones.
Terry Orlando Jones, Mr. Funky Citrus,
We
going to be in the
Yes,
house.
He'll be featuring in May.
That's beautiful.
We have Ashley coming up.
Which Ashley?
Ashley Wonderful is her name.
Ashley
She's-
Wonderful, another Ashley.
She's amazing.
I don't know her. I'm
we
gonna
have a
check
lot
this
of good
out.
people
Fantastic.
coming up.
And I know before the program we were talking a little bit, and there were a couple people that you were thinking of that had a profound influence in terms of you all continuing to do what you were doing. I know you mentioned VCR and maybe a
Yes.
couple others.
Shout out to VCR.
Vernon C. Robinson, he has
Verbalization.
been a supporter since Roxbury Community College. He has verbalization every second and fourth Tuesdays of the month. I'll actually be co-hosting on March 8th, so you should definitely come out and check it out every Tuesday and every
it's where?
second and fourth Tuesday at Hibernian Hall
There you
in
go.
Dudley.
There you go.
So Dudley has become the capital of spoken word, open micism,
I'm
as
calling
he
it-
would call it.
I'm calling it the cultural mecca.
Yes,
the cultural mecca.
absolutely.
Right,
Yes.
right. So this is a beautiful thing. Well, I want to thank Tim Ellis, Amanda Ellis, the lovely Desiree Rivera Deco,
Thank you.
and the fabulous Curtis. Curtis, you got a song for us? You got a few notes you want to hum?
Come on,
Something?
Curtis.
Yes,
Come
I
on,
do.
Curtis
I got something
Evans.
for you.
Can you do
Hello.
Can you do the Hope Inc. theme?
Dog, why y'all want my-
They didn't want to help you before. Now,
Hoping, Hop on Proper Education. It's year number 10, Hope Crew. Congratulations. If you want to be down, you don't need an invitation. We going to keep winning. Let the haters keep hating. Hoping, Hop on Proper Education. It's year number 10, Hope Crew. Congratulations. If you want to be down, you don't need an invitation. We going to keep winning. Let the haters
Keep hating.
Perfect end.
thank you, people.